Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear anyone mess about our names, okay? Okay?
Oh.
Anywho, he took little X.
Funny. A little Instagram.
He doesn't know an Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X with it. He took little X.
Funny. A little Instagram.
He doesn't know an Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X.
Welcome back to Gossip Galaxy. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin. The internet is absolutely on fire after Whoopi Goldberg made some jaw-dropping comments about Elon Musk's son, setting social media ablaze. And let's just say, Musk was not about to sit back and let it slide. If you thought The View had already stirred up enough controversy over the years, this one might just be the most explosive yet. The second Whoopi's words hit the airwaves, the backlash was immediate. Fans, critics, and even some of her longtime supporters wasted no time calling her out. Social media turned into a battlefield, with heated debates, outraged reactions, and plenty of people demanding answers. But things really took a turn when Musk himself stepped in. And if there's one thing everyone knows about him, it's that he doesn't play nice when his family is involved.
All the sort of federal money going to media companies is what helps explain why the legacy media all says the same thing at the same time.
The show has allowed all kinds of people to come on, people we agree with, people we don't agree with. I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation.
The moment someone took aim at his kid, it was game on. Elon fired back with a scorching response, and he did not hold back. He went after Whoopi and her co-hosts in a fiery social media post, blasting them for what he called outright bullying. He slammed The View for mocking a child on national television, calling it disgusting and saying it exposed their true colors in front of the entire world. And then, boom, his tweet took off like a rocket. Within seconds, it was everywhere. Screenshots, retweets, reactions. It was impossible to escape. The internet instantly split into two rival camps, each more fired up than the other. Some are backing Whoopi, arguing she was just speaking her mind. Others were furious, siding with Musk and demanding accountability. One thing's for sure, this feud is far from over. It was a full-on internet war. But while the debate raged on, one thing was clear. Elon wasn't done, not even close. Instead of backing down, he doubled down, dragging The View into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. This wasn't just about a single comment anymore. Musk was on a mission to expose them. And then, just when people thought he had said enough, he dropped a bombshell. And it wasn't just Whoopi in his crosshairs anymore. Musk went after the entire show, accusing The View of being nothing more than a scripted performance pushing personal agendas. And let's be clear, he wasn't just making baseless claims. He came with receipts, screenshots, clips, quotes. Musk brought the evidence, laying it all out for the world to see. But he didn't stop there. He dragged the network itself into the mess, calling for them to be held accountable for allowing their hosts to spew whatever they wanted on national television without any fact-checking. His words sent shockwaves through the media world, sparking a major conversation about just how much of what we see on daytime TV is actually real. People started questioning, was The View really about honest discussion? Or was it just a well-oiled machine built to push a narrative? And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more intense, they did. Because Elon had one more thing to say. And this time, he made it crystal clear. If you come for him, you better be ready for the consequences.
X is an adorable name, and perhaps a grown woman who named herself Whoopi should refrain from mocking a 4-year-old for the name his parents gave him. Yes, Whoopi picked that name for herself. She's actually Karen Elaine Johnson. Now, how did Karen become Whoopi? You're going to love this. According to Goldberg, once I started getting parts in plays, I wanted a name that sounded more interesting. Karen Johnson wasn't it.
And here's where things took a serious turn. This wasn't just some Twitter feud anymore. Rumors started swirling that Musk was gearing up for legal action. Some sources even claimed he was planning to use his massive influence to put real pressure on the network behind the scenes. Insiders whispered that The View's executives were in full-blown panic mode, scrambling to contain the damage before things spiraled completely out of control. And let's just say, this wasn't looking good for them. Things didn't just get worse. They spiraled. And let's not forget, Musk isn't just some celebrity picking fights on Twitter. He's a billionaire with serious influence, not just online, but in business, technology, and media. If he really wanted to make an example out of them, he absolutely could. The real question now, will The View fight back? Or are they about to find out what really happens when you challenge Elon Musk? According to insiders, The View is in full-blown crisis mode, and it's looking bad. Producers are scrambling. PR teams are in chaos. And ABC executives? Reportedly losing their minds behind the scenes. Every single attempt at damage control? Failing. It's like playing whack-a-mole. Every time they put out one fire, another one erupts. And at the very center of this firestorm, Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, two of the most recognizable faces on the panel, who are getting dragged from all sides. Social media has turned against them with a vengeance. People are digging up everything they've ever said, twisting old clips, resurfacing past statements, using every piece of footage as evidence of a larger pattern. This isn't just about this controversy anymore. Suddenly, their entire history is under a microscope. Every joke, every remark.
4-year-old son.
So yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear anyone mess about our names, okay?
You take aim at a 4-year-old? I mean, look, I get that he's operating at your reading level, but come on. At least have the decency to go after someone who's reached puberty.
And the worst part? The backlash isn't just coming from their usual critics. Even some of their own viewers are starting to turn on them. But here's what makes this situation even more dangerous. This isn't just about a tasteless joke or a poorly worded opinion anymore. This is bigger. This is about power, influence, control over the media narrative. And right now, it's looking like Musk has the upper hand. If The View thought they could just ride this out like any other controversy, they might have just made the biggest mistake of their careers. Because this time, the fallout isn't just lingering, it's escalating. Fast. They didn't just criticize anyone. They went after Elon Musk's son. And if there's one thing everyone knows about Musk, it's that he doesn't let anything slide. This isn't some random CEO who will issue a half-hearted apology, take the hit, and move on. This is Elon Musk, the man who owns Twitter, the man who controls online conversations, the man who can turn a controversy into an unstoppable digital tsunami. And here's the thing. Musk isn't just reacting. He's orchestrating. If he really wanted to, he could make sure The View never fully recovers from this. He has the power, the influence, and the resources to bury this show in ways they never saw coming. And right now, it looks like he's already pulling the strings. Because the second Musk clapped back, the internet exploded. His tweet calling out Whoopi and Joy, brutal. But that was just the beginning. Within minutes, his words spread like wildfire. The post racked up millions of likes, shares, and comments. People weren't just engaged. They were furious. And the fallout? Immediate. It wasn't just Musk's loyal fans jumping in. Everyday viewers, people who had watched The View for years, started saying the show had finally crossed the line. Even those who weren't necessarily Musk supporters couldn't defend what had happened. And then came the real shocker. People weren't just angry. They were demanding action, calls for a boycott, demands for accountability, viewers telling ABC to do something before this spirals even further. It's no longer just a social media argument. It's a full-scale reckoning. And right now, The View is standing on dangerously thin ice. The backlash wasn't just loud. It was relentless. Within hours, hashtags like #cancel The View and #WhoopiExposed started trending. Thousands of furious posts flooded social media. And at this point, it wasn't just about Elon Musk's son. This had turned into a full-scale attack on The View's credibility. People were digging deep, resurfacing old clips, past controversies, moments where the show had crossed the line before. And here's where things got even worse. This wasn't just an online meltdown. Sponsors started paying attention. Big advertisers, companies that keep The View running, were suddenly feeling the heat. Social media was filled with calls for them.
You will really understand. And there's nothing more motivating than looking at the future of your children and saying, what will I give them? Because the country that I build right now and help to protect, that's the one they're going to inherit. Will they have to spend their entire lives fixing my problems because I was such a selfish, lazy bastard? I preserved nothing for them.
Behind the scenes, ABC executives were scrambling. Damage control meetings. PR strategists working overtime. Internal sources claimed the network was frantically trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding before it turned into a full-blown financial crisis. But there was one big problem. Musk wasn't letting up. Every time they tried to shift the narrative, he was there, making sure it stayed front and center. He was retweeting posts, engaging with outraged fans, and keeping the controversy alive. And with every single tweet, the fire grew bigger. At this point, it wasn't just about Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar. It was about the View's survival. The network had to decide fast. Would they stand by their hosts? Or would they throw someone under the bus to save themselves? Because one thing was clear. This wasn't just another controversy. This was war. And that's when things really spiraled out of control. The hashtag cancel the View exploded across Twitter. But this wasn't just another fleeting outrage, one that burns hot for a day and then fades away. This one had staying power. People weren't just venting their frustrations. They were demanding real consequences. The outrage had evolved. It wasn't just about calling out Whoopi anymore. This was an organized effort to take down the show itself. Boycotts were being actively planned. Petitions were circulating. Social media was flooded with calls to have The View completely shut down. But here's where things went from bad to catastrophic. This wasn't just a PR nightmare anymore. This was turning into an absolute business disaster. Because when an audience turns on a show, the real threat isn't just bad press. It's lost revenue. And right now, The View's money is in serious jeopardy. Major advertisers, the lifeblood of the show, were reportedly rethinking their partnerships. No company wants to be even remotely associated with a brand drowning in controversy. Social media outrage is one thing. But when corporations start to panic, that's when you know the situation is dire. And according to insiders, the situation is way worse than it looks. Some sources claim that top-tier sponsors are already in serious discussions about pulling their ads. And if that happens, the consequences will be devastating. No advertisers means no revenue. No revenue means The View is in serious trouble. Now, the real question isn't whether The View can repair the damage. It's whether they'll survive this at all. Behind closed doors, ABC executives are reportedly in full-on meltdown mode, scrambling for any possible way to contain the disaster. Meetings are being called. Emergency PR plans are being drafted. Damage control is in overdrive. But at this point, it might already be too late. Whoopi and Joy are under immense pressure to address the controversy. But at this stage, anything they say could blow up in their faces. The network is desperate. The audience is furious. And Elon Musk, he's just getting...
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself.
Musk isn't just reacting, he's strategizing. He's making sure this scandal doesn't just disappear into the next news cycle. He's keeping the pressure high, and the internet is following his lead. So now, the real question is this the beginning of the end for The View? Because let's be honest, this isn't just another controversy. This isn't a headline that will fade in a few days. This might be the moment that finally breaks The View beyond repair. For years, the show has thrived on controversy. It has built its brand on pushing boundaries and stirring the pot. They've made careers out of heated debates and take no prisoners commentary. But this time, they might have gone too far. Because when you come after Elon Musk's kid, you're not just stirring the pot. You're tipping it over, spilling everything, and setting the entire kitchen on fire. And the craziest part? It all started with what should have been a simple father-son moment. Elon Musk made a rare public appearance with his son at a major press conference. He stood there proud, a father first, a billionaire second. It was a glimpse into his life that most people never get to see. For once, it wasn't about Twitter battles, rocket launches, or AI. It was about family. And that's exactly why this controversy has hit so hard. Because no matter what people think of Elon Musk, one thing is certain. Coming after his kid, that's a battle you don't want to start. Just him and his son, sharing a rare moment together. A father standing proudly with his child. Something simple, something real. But Whoopi Goldberg, she saw it differently. She didn't take it as a touching father-son bond. Nope. She saw an opportunity, an opening, and she took it, letting it be what it was. A normal, human moment between a father and his kid was an option. But instead, Whoopi mocked the boy's name, and not in some casual, passing way. She leaned into it, the classic smirk, the dripping sarcasm, the knowing tone that all but screamed, "Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing." It was deliberate, calculated, almost as if she was baiting people to react. And react they did. The audience laughed. Some co-hosts chuckled along. But the internet exploded. Because let's be real, this wasn't just about the name. This was about
Whoopi Goldberg's actual name. Whoopi Goldberg's real name is Karen. Did you know this? That's right. Her birth name is Karen. She's a Karen. She's a little Karen. Disgusting behavior. Leave the kids out of it. That's when you know they have nothing else to say.
Elon Musk's son's name has been a topic of discussion since the moment it was announced. People have debated how to pronounce it, turned it into memes, and joked about it on social media. But there's a difference between casual internet banter and a major television personality using a national platform to mock a child. And that's exactly what made this moment different. This wasn't some anonymous Twitter user cracking a joke. This was Whoopi Goldberg, a household name, sitting at the table of one of the most watched daytime talk shows, using her influence to ridicule a kid. And for what? A few cheap laughs? A throwaway punchline? A viral moment to keep the view relevant? The way she did it, the tone, the delivery, it all felt so intentional, as if she knew exactly how much attention it would get. But this time, she miscalculated. The backlash was immediate and unrelenting. People weren't just criticizing her. They were furious, and they weren't letting it slide. Social media erupted, not just with angry tweets, but with full-blown outrage. This wasn't just another oops moment, where a celebrity says the wrong thing and moves on. This was different. This time, Whoopi wasn't just being called out. She was being held accountable. And the fallout? It was only just beginning. Parents were outraged. The View's own fans were shocked. And even some of Whoopi's own supporters started questioning her choice of words. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about Elon Musk. This was about a kid. A child who didn't ask to be in the spotlight. Who didn't sign up for public ridicule. Who had no say in the conversation. And yet, here he was, dragged into a national controversy because Whoopi Goldberg decided to turn his name into a joke. Now, Whoopi Goldberg was at the center of a firestorm she never saw coming. And The View? They were facing a storm too big to ride out. Clips of Whoopi's comments spread like wildfire, and the internet did not hold back. Within minutes, the backlash was brutal. People weren't just criticizing her. They were angry, calling out The View for what they saw as a new low. One comment summed it up perfectly. The View making fun of a 4-year-old child? That's a new low, even for them. Another took it even further. Elon will just have to sue The View again. This time.
But it is, and I'm just looking at this video and it's so bizarre.
But here's the kicker. This wasn't just Musk's fan base coming to his defense. Even people who couldn't stand Elon were calling this an absolute disaster. One viral comment read, "Insulting the beloved 4-year-old son of an often litigious man worth $400 billion is probably the most monumentally stupid move of a monumentally stupid woman." The sheer volume of backlash was something The View had never experienced before. It wasn't just criticism, it was rage, and it was growing by the second. But if you thought Whoopi's comment was bad, oh, it gets worse. Because Joy Behar took things to a whole new level. Instead of reading the room, instead of even acknowledging that Whoopi's comment might have been out of line, she doubled down. And not in some casual, offhand way, she went off. What started as a discussion about Elon Musk's son suddenly spiraled into a completely unhinged rant. Out of nowhere, Joy threw in a random and bizarre comment. The conversation had already set social media on fire. But Joy, she just poured gasoline on it. Maybe Elon should have invested in better birth control if he didn't want people talking about his kid's name. Excuse me, what? At that moment, the controversy wasn't just about a bad joke anymore. It had turned into a full-blown disaster. How do we go from talking about a child's name to that? Even Whoopi looked caught off guard, like she wasn't sure where this was going. The audience? Dead silent. You could feel the tension through the screen. Because whether you love Elon or hate him, dragging an innocent child into a debate about his father's life choices, that's just weird. It wasn't just a low blow. It was completely out of line. Viewers watching this train wreck in real time were stunned. People weren't just annoyed, they were genuinely confused. How did a simple conversation about a father-son moment turn into this? Social media erupted, with people wondering what on earth Joy was thinking. But the rant wasn't over yet. Oh no, Joy kept going. She then started attacking Elon's spending habits, questioning why he even took his son to public events when, according to her, he's so obsessed with himself. At this point, people weren't just angry, they were baffled. What was supposed to be a casual TV segment had turned into an absolute circus. And the worst part? The damage was done. Clips were everywhere. The backlash was exploding by the second. And The View? They had no idea what kind of storm was about to hit them. And let's not forget, this is coming from a woman who sits on a daytime talk show built on gossiping about celebrities' personal lives. The hypocrisy is off the charts. But just when you thought The View couldn't dig themselves into a deeper hole, they did. Because instead of taking a step back and realizing that maybe, just maybe, they went too far, the host kept going. No apologies. No backtracking. Just more fuel thrown onto an already raging fire. And now, the battle lines are officially drawn. On one side, you have people saying Whoopi crossed a major line, that mocking a child, no matter who their parents are, is just wrong. Even critics who usually oppose Elon Musk are agreeing that this time, The View went too far. People are asking, how far is too far when it comes to daytime talk shows that thrive on controversy? And this might be the moment where audiences finally say, enough is enough. But on the other side, you have those claiming that this is exactly what Elon Musk wanted, that he's strategically using this controversy as an excuse to go after what he calls the woke media. They argue that he loves playing the victim when it benefits him, that this entire situation is just another way for him to flex his power over the media landscape. Either way, one thing is clear. This isn't blowing over anytime soon. But here's the thing. When has Elon Musk ever backed down from a fight? Ever? This is the same man who bought Twitter just because he could. The same guy who openly clashes with politicians, celebrities, entire corporations, and somehow he always comes out on top. You really think he's just going to ignore these comments? You think he's going to let a daytime talk show take a jab at his kid and get away with it? Absolutely not. At this point, The View might need to brace for impact. Because if Elon Musk wants to make an example out of them, this fight is far from over. And knowing Musk, he's not just going to respond once and move on. He's going to drag this out until the damage is irreversible. We've seen this before. Elon doesn't just clap back. He goes all in. If he feels wronged, he doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. And he doesn't stop until he gets the last word. And this time, it's personal. This isn't about a business rivalry. It's not about a Twitter feud. It's not even about a political debate. This is about his child. And now, the big questions remain. Will this be the scandal that finally cancels Whoopi Goldberg? Will The View be forced to apologize just to save themselves? Or will they double down yet again? Could Musk actually take legal action against the show, the network, or even the hosts themselves? And perhaps the biggest question of all, will The View even survive this? Because right now, this isn't just a social media backlash anymore. It's not just angry tweets or trending hashtags. This is bigger than that. Advertisers are watching. ABC executives are panicking. And Elon, he's just getting started. So what do you think? Has The View finally crossed the line? Or is Musk blowing this out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss the next big Hollywood scandal, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Because trust me, this story, it's far from over. Fire, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one.